Swifties, the time has come. The All Too Well short film is finally here. And to put it simply, we are unwell in the best way possible. Let's get into it. As if our emotions could possibly handle any more heartbreak, Taylor Swift has gone and done it again with the release of an actual visual depiction of the highly anticipated 10-minute version of Red's All Too Well short film. The visuals, the storyline, the raw emotion, our hearts tore apart piece by piece throughout the 13-minute film as Taylor truly brought the tragic story of a past love to life. But first off, can we just take a second or maybe a few minutes to talk about the incredible acting and chemistry between Dylan O'Brien and Sadie Sink? You could truly feel both Sadie and Dylan's hearts pouring into this masterpiece throughout the euphoria and heartbreak of the entire video. Taylor brilliantly separated each segment of the video into the build-up and eventually the breakdown of the relationship, as things began so well until fans ultimately received a glimpse at the first crack in the glass. Sadie and Dylan's characters were enjoying an evening with a group of Dylan's friends when we see Sadie feel uncomfortable by Dylan's behavior that night. And after the dinner, the fighting commenced. Fingers began pointing at each other over the way Dylan was acting toward her when the elephant in the room was brought up, the infamous age gap.
I don't know any of these people. They're all strangers. They're all older than me.
This scene gave us immediate chills as their argument was brought to life with actual dialogue and no music, and truly showed the beginning of the end.
I'm catching up with my friends.
Oh, trust me, they were enthralled by you. Of course.
You're really making the entire night about
you.
you.
Didn't even look at me.
This scene really made our hearts stop as we digested every word and emotion, and honestly could not stop picturing Taylor having that very argument word for word. And not gonna lie, it was pretty crushing to watch. Things then got better for a short period of time as the popular lyrics dancing around the kitchen in the refrigerator light swept us off our toes, until the breaking point was reached when Dylan appeared to realize it was over. We're all too familiar with the next phase of the breakup, which Taylor dubbed the reeling, as Sadie appeared not mad, not sad, but simply numb. Or, as Taylor explains so perfectly, a crumpled up piece of paper. Following scenes of reflecting back on what was and what is no longer, the film fast forwards 13 years down the road, when in a shocking turn of events, Taylor herself, who appears as Taylor later on, as a successful novelist with red hair just like Sadie's. Tay is conducting a book signing for her memoir, conveniently titled All Too Well, as she retells her story just as she did today. The scene ends with Dylan glancing at her tell her story like a distant outsider, and the chills have never been more present than they were at this very moment. Not to mention it's also snowing. You guys, I truly cannot think of two people more suited for this film, and it seems fans completely agree. Many have already begun chiming in on social media, writing comments like, "Visual representation of me lying here because I remember all too well the short film All Too Well," complete with that crumpled up piece of paper. Another fan couldn't help but notice the connection between the birthday party scene and Taylor's vault track The Moment I Knew, which took place on her 21st birthday. Others couldn't help but point out once again just how perfect each of the scenes were that embodied every line of the song, and even shared side-by-side photos of Sadie and Dylan, as well as both Taylor and the film's other rumored real-life subject, Jake Gyllenhaal. Both Taylor and Dylan have since reacted to the film's release on Twitter, as Dylan took a page right out of Taylor's notebook writing, "So casually cruel in the name of being honest," and Taylor responded to Dylan's tweet with a series of teary-eyed emojis. Our tears are nowhere near being done falling from the faces of Swifties around the world. But as always, Taylor has once again transformed her experience into a full-blown masterpiece. And I think this goes without saying, but Swifties are already getting straight to work on all of those All Too Well short film Easter eggs. But we'll save that for one of our next updates. So be sure to stay tuned. For more on Tay and the backstory of All Too Well, click right over here for another clever video. Then be sure to let me know your thoughts on this masterpiece in the comments section below. I'm your host, Susan Morad. You can find me on socials at Susan_Morad. I'll catch you later. Bye guys.